Ego sum lux mundi. I am the light of the world. The Lord Jesus, when he speaks in today's gospel, is making this incredible claim, and we don't fully appreciate it till we get to the last line of today's gospel. It said it took place in the temple area, which is known as the court of the women. In the temple area, during the feast of the tabernacles, which is the scene for this beautiful gospel, it was the ingathering, the harvest festival. So one of 3 times when Jews were meant to come to Jerusalem, to the temple, and in the temple there's the courtyard of the Gentiles. They can only go so far, those who are not Jews. And then there's the temple of the women. And it's in the temple of the women that this scene takes place. So it's good. The Me Too movement would love this, especially after Susanna and her, her vindication. In the temple of the women, there were 4 huge candelabras. And on the first night of the feast of the 7 days of the Feast of Tabernacles, at sundown, those 4 big candelabras, they were huge, they would be lit. And the people at the time said they were so bright that they lit all the courtyards of all the homes in Jerusalem at that time. And so it's in that context that Jesus is saying, these light up Jerusalem, but I am the light of the world. So he's making an incredible claim that he lights up the whole world. And with this, he's also recognizing that on that first night, the most important men, the holiest men of Jerusalem would be dancing around all night until cockcrow, until the morning. They would be dancing with joy and praise as all the people watched. So he's saying, you have seen the blaze of the temple illuminations piercing the darkness of the night. I am the light of the world, and for the person who follows me, there will be light, not only for this exciting night, but for all the days of one's life. The light in the temple is a brilliant light, but at the end it flickers and dies. I am the light which lasts forever. And then he goes on to say that there are 2 witnesses. There is my witness, because they challenge him and they say, who are you to say you're the light of the world, claiming to be God? And he says, there's my witness and the witness of my words. These words could only come from someone who had been filled with the knowledge and wisdom of God. There's the witness of my deeds, and these deeds could only have been accomplished by someone who had been filled with God's power and grace. And then he says, he says the witness of the effect that Jesus has on people. Whenever he comes near to them, he heals them, he makes them whole. He could not do that without the power of God. And then there's the effect that he says when he is exposed in fullness, when he talks about judgment, he says, human beings judge on the surface only by appearances, but I judge with all of the knowledge that is provided by the living God himself, everything about the situation and the person, as we see in the book of Daniel this morning. So he is making this claim that if we follow him, we will always have the light of Christ to guide us, to guide our steps, to fill us with his peace and his joy. And if a family welcomes, especially during this Lenten season, the Lord into their homes. Their homes are filled with the light of Christ, a light that never goes out.